Hello? Hello? All right. All right, go ahead. Yeah. That looks awesome.
Is there part of the script I was to read? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. And ad lib, it's just a rough.
Yeah.
You're after Jen.
Okay.
It's just a,
All right.
All righty.
Good morning. Welcome to the 5th annual Lakewood 5th grade Battle of the Books. I want you all to know that this has been a collaborative effort between all 7 Lakewood City elementary schools, and we are super thankful that we are able to continue to do Battle of the Books year after year. It is funded by the Lakewood Rangers Educational Foundation. Everyone here, you should be very proud of yourselves because you are the few that started, stuck with it through the year, and made it to the end. Each of you read 1,677 pages to be here, all right? Some of you gave up lunches with classmates, recess, you might have come in early, you might have stayed late, but you guys all are motivated readers and dedicated students. Several schools raised money for the library in the refugee camp at Dadaab, and that relates back to When Stars Are Scattered. So some of the schools did that, and in total, we donated $1,115 to the library in Dadaab, which is really amazing.
Also, a special shout out to a horseman teacher, Mrs. Martzoff, because I remember that she matched our donations, the student donations at Horace Mann. She matched those donations. I think it was something like $200. So very nice for Mrs. Martzoff. We also want to give a huge shout out to everybody who made this possible. Thanks to all of the assistants in the libraries who worked with the kids throughout the year. The people like Mrs. Corrigan, Mrs. Fink, Ms. Ryan, Mrs. Murphy. Also a big thank to our tech department, Mr. Bunsey, who's back there getting ready to, or is live streaming this. And finally, we'd like to thank our entire administrative team for your support and willingness to work with us to make this happen.
All right, so during the battle, we'll be calling on your school to choose the Jeopardy squares. And I know you guys have been told this. I'm just going to remind you, you can't buzz in until the entire question has been read. And the person that buzzes in has to answer that question. There's no help allowed from your teammates. There are no points deducted for wrong answers. If the first team is unable to answer or they get the question wrong, the other team can get the question for the steal. The total number of points from your 2 rounds are going to be added to determine the 2 teams with the highest point value, which will battle at the end of the day. All right, so now we're going to dismiss everyone. Oh, sorry, Ms. Johnson, go for it.
Bathrooms.
Oh, yeah.
I know this is important. There is a bathroom that you do not need a key for in the cafeteria. So as you're traveling, when you're not battling, you'll be in the gym. So you'll exit that door, you'll go down the stairs, and you'll loop your way through to the gym, right? There is a set of bathrooms in the cafeteria on your way. I recommend using that one. However, we do have 2 bathrooms here in the library. They require a key that you will get from Mrs. Tillow at the desk. The doors are heavy, and once you're in the bathroom, you have to turn the gold lock and the handle at the same time to open it. Therefore, I recommend using the bathrooms as much as possible in the cafeteria.
Awesome. All right, so everyone's now is going to go to their first station or the battle. Just remember, as you travel throughout the high school, you're representing your school. And Harrison and Horace Mann are the first two teams that are going to battle. So you guys stay up here. Everyone else is going to head downstairs. And good luck to everyone today and have fun. Miss. All right, so we predetermined that every team today that sits on the left is going to pick the first question, okay? All right, are we ready?
Yeah.
So we'll either clear the board or 15 minutes, whichever comes first. Sound good? Any questions before we start? Nope. All right, so we'll go till 10 o'clock or until we clear the board. All righty. Harrison, you are first to choose.
Snow White 500.
Snow White for 500. Oh, that was. Oh, snap. Hold on. All right, Snow White for 500, and remember you cannot buzz in until the question is read. Ready? All right, here we go. In the Grimm version, how does the evil queen die? Horace Mann yellow.
Okay, so she dances to her death in red hot iron shoes.
Correct.
Yes,
All right, Horace Mann. Whoops.
No way you
Okay, Horace Mann, that was the reset noise. New buzzers this year.
This is not a werewolf story 500.
Werewolf for 500. Who is the criminal mastermind responsible for the Penn Cove massacre? Hint, you must give both of their names.
That was me.
Purple Horace Mann.
Luke Fisher and Tuffman.
Incorrect. Harrison for the steal.
It's Luke Ferrier and Mr. Tuffman.
Correct.
Ferrier, not it.
And there are no deductions for wrong answers. So nobody loses points. Okay? All right, Harrison.
Journey of Coyote Sunrise for 500.
Coyote for 500. According to Rodeo, what are two things that last forever? Purple Horace Mann.
I think Janis Joplin's voice and Twinkies.
Correct.
Hold on. Our thing isn't working.
Mine also didn't click.
Yeah, hers are.
Well, no, it's only going to record the first person from each team. Yeah, Lucian did
Yeah, and I was.
click in. It was a buzzer thing. It's
Yeah,
all right,
I was
we'll move forward.
Okay.
gonna
Okay.
say that.
All right. Next one. So are we going with Horace Mann?
Yeah.
Okay, Horace Mann, go ahead, pick.
Oscar Indigo 500.
Oscar for 500. Name one of the 3 people who invented the watch. Harrison, yellow.
Uh, the mayor?
Incorrect. Horace Mann for the steal. One person, and go ahead.
Albert Einstein.
Correct.
Oh, good job.
All right. Horace Mann, go ahead and pick.
Me and Marvin Gardens, 500.
Marvin Gardens for 500. What does Obe want to be when he grows up? Harrison, orange.
A teacher.
Correct. Nice job. All right. Harrison, go ahead and choose.
Journey of Coyote Sunrise, 400.
Coyote for 400. What instrument does Lester Washington play? Harrison, yellow.
A bass.
Do we want to accept that? Yes. All right. The answer is upright bass. Nice job. Go ahead and choose, Harrison.
Snow White for 400.
Snow White 400. In Snow White, the graphic novel, how does the evil stepmother die? Harrison, yellow.
She got electrocuted and took 2 steps backwards and fell off and died from hitting a car.
Correct. All right, Harrison, go ahead and choose.
This Is Not a Werewolf Story for 400.
What is mitochondrial DNA? Horace Mann, purple.
The DNA you get from your mother.
Correct.
Good job.
All right. Horace Mann.
Pippi Longstocking, 500.
Hippie for 500. In Brazil, what do people put in their hair?
Eggs.
Good. Wait till I call on you, but you got it. Harrison, go ahead.
Oscar Indigo for 400.
Oscar for 400. What was the name of the pitch that took out Babe Ruth? Harrison, orange.
The drop.
Correct.
Yeah, why is
Can start clicking like right away.
Yeah, ours isn't letting us click.
I think it is. They're just
We'll just test it. I think you guys are just late.
probably.
Noah?
Go ahead.
You can't click when I'm holding it, and I hold
Okay.
it for as long as the question's being read.
Right. and
Right.
then If you unclick it, let's just make sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So yours is working. You're just not fast enough. You gotta like be boom. Right on.
Yeah, 10 people are all clicking,
Yeah.
so it's just, you know. All right. That was Harrison with the drop. Go ahead.
Can we do Snow White, 300?
Snow White 300. In the graphic novel, how does Snow White's dad die? Horace Mann, purple.
He gets sick.
Incorrect. Harrison for the steal. Anyone? Yeah.
In the graphic novel, Snow White's dad dies of getting poisoned by the stepmother.
Correct. All right. Go ahead, Harrison.
Pippi Longstocking, 400.
All right. Pippi for 400. What is the name of Pippi's grandmother's maid? Harrison, yellow.
Malin?
Yes. See those wheels turning. All right, here we go. Go ahead, Harrison.
Me and Marvin Gardens for 400.
400. Pollution fact of the day. Every 90 seconds, a blank dies from contaminated water. Horace Mann, green.
Child.
Child is correct. All right, Horace Mann, go ahead.
Oscar Indigo, 300.
Oscar for 300. Who stole the watch from Wierder Thimble and Handheld Timepiece Museum? Harrison, orange.
Eleanor Ethel Ellington.
Yes, correct. Go ahead, Harrison.
Journey of Coyote Sunrise, 300.
Coyote Sunrise 300. What is the name of the city where Coyote tells Rodeo she wants to go to get a pork sandwich? Harrison, blue.
Butte, Montana.
Butte, Montana is correct. All right. Go ahead, Harrison.
Pippi Longstocking, 300.
Pippi for 300. Who is the author of Pippi Longstocking? Horace Mann, yellow.
No, that's you. That's you. That's you, Julie.
No, it's Noah. Why'd you click no?
Astrid Lindgren.
Astrid Lindgren. Yes, that is correct. All right, Horace Mann, go ahead.
This is not a werewolf story. 300.
300. What are the names of Dean Swift's daughters? Horace Mann Yellow.
April, May, and June.
Correct. All right, go ahead, Horace Mann.
Me and Marvin Gardens. 300.
Define irony, definition, not an example. Harrison Orange.
When somebody says something and then the exact opposite happens.
Correct. All right, go ahead, Harrison.
Snow White 200.
Snow White 200. What country does the graphic novel take place in? Horace Mann Yellow.
New York.
It is incorrect. Over to Harrison.
America.
Correct, Harrison.
Journey of Coyote Sunrise 200.
Journey of Coyote Sunrise 200. Who is the first person to get invited on the bus? Horace Mann Green.
Lester.
Correct. All right, back to Horace Mann.
This is not a werewolf story 200.
Werewolf for 200. Who wrote This Is Not a Werewolf Story? Horace Mann Yellow.
Sandra Evans.
Correct. All right, Horace Mann.
Pippi Longstocking 200.
Pippi for 200. Who did Pippi beat at arm wrestling? Horace Mann Yellow.
The police officer.
Incorrect. Harrison for the steal. Yeah.
The two bad guys.
Incorrect. It is the mighty Adolf, the strong man at the circus. All right, so that goes back to Horace Mann who had the last correct answer.
Me and Marvin Gardens 200.
Who wrote Me and Marvin Gardens? Harrison Orange.
Amy Sarah King.
Correct. All right, Harrison.
Oscar Indigo 200.
Oscar for 200. Who is the author? Harrison Orange.
David Teague.
Correct.
You can't.
All right. Go ahead and pick.
This is not a werewolf story 100.
Vincent has a huge problem with doing what? Horace Mann Green.
Fine.
Yes. This is. Go ahead.
Journey of Coyote Sunrise 100.
100. What is the name of the school bus? Harrison Blue.
Jaeger.
Jaeger is correct. Go ahead, Harrison.
Pippi Longstocking 100.
Pippi for 100. What may or may not live in Pippi's attic? Harrison Blue.
Ghost.
Ghost is correct. All right. Go ahead.
Snow White 100.
Snow White 100. In the Grimm version, what jobs did the 7 dwarves have? Horace Mann Purple.
Gold miners.
Correct. Okay, go ahead.
Oscar Indigo 100.
Oscar. Who is the best player on the team? Horace Mann Purple.
Lourdes Mangabutt.
Mango
We'll take it. All right, the last one. Here we go. Marvin swims like what animal? Horace Mann Purple.
A dog.
Yes, correct. Nice round. This was a very evenly matched round. So you guys cleared the board. I did not keep track of the points up here. It's a tie. It's not a tie. Ms. Johnson kept track of the points, and she'll add those up. But you guys, it was very close, just as it appeared. So nice job. If anyone needs to use the restroom, now's a great time. And then you guys get a drink, and then head down to the gym to switch. Awesome.
Keep letting him clip.
All right, so we are gonna play for 15 minutes or until you clear the board, whichever comes first. So we will stop at 10:20, whether the board is cleared or not. Every team that sits on the left, it is the team that is going to pick the first question, and that is just due to when I enter the teams, Factile, this program mixes them up and puts them on the board this way, and so that's how we determined it. It's random based on the website, okay? All right, are you guys ready?
Hopefully.
Okay. No. All right, here we go. So we're going to have Emerson choose the first question. Gabe, go ahead.
Coyote Sunrise 500.
Coyote for 500. According to Rodeo, what are two things that last forever? Emerson Green.
Oh shoot, it's Twinkies and Janice Lastring's voice.
Okay, Ms. Johnson is going to take it. It is Janis Joplin's voice and Twinkies. Nice job. All right, back to Emerson for the question pick. Kenna, yeah.
Oscar Indigo 500.
Oscar for 500. Name one of the three people who invented the watch. Emerson Blue.
Professor T. Smiley.
Grant.
Professor Buffington T. Smiley.
So both are incorrect. No one loses any points. Wrong answers are not deducted from the point total. Back to Kenna to pick the question.
This is not a werewolf story 500.
All right, werewolf for 500. Who is the criminal mastermind responsible for the Penn Cove massacre? Hint, you must give both names. Emerson Orange.
Luke Ferrier and Tupman.
Correct. All right. Go ahead. Pick the next question.
Pippi Longstocking 500.
Pippi for 500. In Brazil, what do people put in their hair? Emerson Green.
Eggs.
Eggs is correct. All right. Kenna, go ahead.
Me and Marvin Gardens 500.
Marvin for 500. What does Obe want to be when he grows up? Emerson Yellow.
Me?
If you have a yellow buzzer.
Yes.
He wants to be a science teacher.
Correct. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to say Coyote Sunrise 400.
Coyote for 400. What instrument does Lester Washington play? Emerson Yellow.
The cello. Wait, no, the bass. Oh, that's sad.
We're not going to give it to you because the bass is correct, but your first answer was incorrect. So no points there, but we'll go back to you to pick the question.
Let's do this is now Werewolf 400.
Werewolf for 400. What is mitochondrial DNA? Emerson Green.
The DNA that only your mom can give to you.
That's correct. Emerson for the question picking.
Snow White 500.
Snow White 500. In the Grimm version, how does the evil queen die? Emerson Blue.
The Red Hot Shoes.
Correct. Red Hot Shoes. All right. Go ahead and pick.
Oscar Indigo 400.
Oscar 400. What was the name of the pitch that took out Babe Ruth? Emerson Purple.
The Drop.
The drop is correct. All right. Go ahead and yellow just. Go ahead and pick. Next question.
Let's do me and
Marvin
Marvin
for 400. Pollution fact of the day. Every 90 seconds, a blank dies from contaminated water. Grant Green.
Fish.
Incorrect. Emerson, do you know it?
A sea turtle.
Incorrect. It is a child. No points are deducted for wrong answers.
Every 9 seconds.
I know. Back to Reagan.
I'll do Coyote Sunrise 300.
Coyote for 300. What is the name of the city where Coyote tells Rodeo she wants to go to get a pork sandwich? Grant Green.
North Carolina.
Incorrect. Emerson, do you know it?
Portland.
Incorrect. Sorry. It is Butte, Montana. No points there. Go back to, I think, Reagan, maybe? Yep.
Yeah, me.
All right.
I'll do Pippi Longstocking 400.
All right. Pippi for 400. What is the name of Pippi's grandmother's maid? Emerson Orange.
Molly.
Incorrect. Grant, do you know? 3 seconds. It is Malin. Oh. All right.
I was gonna say Alice.
I'm not.
Reagan.
Is Reagan still? Okay, go ahead, Reagan.
To get 300.
All right, Oscar for 300. Who stole the watch from Viter Klum Thimble and the Handheld Timepiece Museum? Emerson Yellow.
Mrs. Ellington.
Correct. All right. Gabe.
This is now Werewolf 300.
Werewolf for 300. What are the names of Dean Swift's daughters? Emerson Blue.
April, May, and June.
April, May, and June is correct. All right, let's go back to you.
Oscar Indigo 200.
Oscar for 200. Who is the author? Emerson Orange.
David Teague.
You can't help. Sorry, Emerson.
I
Grant,
didn't help.
Oh, and she said it though. So
I never
no hand motioning. We should probably mention that. No hand motioning. So no. Yeah. So no points there deducted or added. Back to back to
Penelope.
Penelope. Go ahead.
Snow White 400.
Snow White 400. In Snow White, the graphic novel, how does the evil stepmother die? Grant Green.
She falls to her death and also is possibly electrocuted. Or
Correct. Okay, go ahead and pick.
Me and Marvin Garden is 300.
Define irony, a definition, not an example. Grant Purple.
Like a coincidence, but something that provides a feeling like a coincidence that provides irony.
Incorrect. It's a good try. Emerson, Gabe, do you want to take it?
Isn't irony like when you would? Is like when you would think of something or something, or it's like you think something good happened to you and then like something bad ends up coming from it, or like if you said you hate mushrooms, then you end up like only being able to eat mushrooms. Oh, that's an example.
I'm gonna say no. Yeah. So the definition is when something is deliberately opposite of what it is meant to be, and then therefore kind of funny. All right. So no points awarded for that question. Back to Grant to pick. Right.
300. Snow White 300.
Snow White 300. In the graphic novel, how does Snow White's dad die? Emerson Purple?
The wife was the stepmother.
Yes, correct. Reagan, go ahead.
Let's do Pippi Longstocking 300.
Pippi 300. Who is the author of Pippi Longstocking? Emerson, yellow.
It's Astrid Lindgren or something like that. I can't pronounce the last name, but it's Astrid Lindgren or something. Isn't that the last name? I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it, okay?
I'm going to defer to Ms. Johnson.
I'm gonna let it go.
Okay,
Thank you.
accepted.
It's Lindgren.
Oh.
All right,
very
it's okay,
sad.
yeah. Emerson, go ahead.
Coyote Sunrise 200.
Coyote 200. Who was the first person to get invited on the bus? Emerson, yellow.
Oh my gosh, I just forgot his name. My train of thought is gone. I just remembered it. All right, I can't. I'm sorry.
Okay, over to Grant for the steal.
I just remembered it.
Lester.
Correct.
Lester, that was it. I remember that.
All right. Go ahead, next question.
Me and Marvin Gardens too.
Can you speak up?
Pippi Longstocking 200.
Pippi Longstocking 200?
Yes.
Okay. Who did Pippi beat at arm wrestling? Grant Green.
Is it a robber?
Incorrect. Emerson? And
The bully.
no, incorrect. So it is the mighty Adolf the strong man. Back to Grant for the next question.
Snow White 200.
Snow White 200? What country does the graphic novel take place in? Emerson, blue.
America.
America. All right. Go ahead, Penelope.
Coyote Sunrise 100.
Can you say that a little louder?
Coyote Sunrise 100.
Okay. What is the name of the school bus?
Jaeger.
Yep, wait for me to call on you. The answer is Jaeger. All right, go ahead.
This is not a werewolf 200.
Who wrote This Is Not a Werewolf Story? Emerson, blue.
Sandra Evans.
Sandra Evans, correct. Go ahead.
Oscar Indigo 100.
Oscar for 100. Who is the best player on the team? Emerson, purple.
Lourdes Mangubat.
Correct. The first group said mango butt, and we accepted it. Okay. Back to Reagan.
Me and Marvin Gardens 200.
200.
200.
Who wrote Me and Marvin Gardens? Emerson, yellow.
A.S. King.
Correct. Go ahead.
This is not a werewolf story 100.
100. Vincent has a huge problem with doing what? Grant Green.
Setting his house on fire?
Actually,
I would take that.
okay.
That's not the answer we had, but I will take it because that is a huge problem.
Lying or setting your house on fire. All right. Points to Grant.
Oh yeah.
Right. Go ahead, Grant.
Me and Marvin Gardens. Snow White 100.
Snow White 100.
Snow White 100. In the Grimm version, what jobs did the 7 dwarves have? Grant, purple.
Mining gold.
Correct. All right. Go ahead, Grant. Finn?
Me and Marvin Gardens 100.
100 for Me and Marvin Gardens. Marvin swims like what animal? Emerson, yellow.
A dog.
Correct. All right, and last question, Pippi for 100. What may or may not live in Pippi's attic? Blue, Emerson.
Ghosts.
Ghosts is correct. All right, it's gonna say it's a tie. That's because I'm not keeping score. You guys did great. Ms. Johnson and Cece both add up the points to double check everything. You guys did great. We finished with like 2 minutes. So the next time you battle, it will be a different school completely. and different kids. So you guys need to get a drink, bathroom. Yeah.
Are there going to be different questions?
Yes. Totally different questions. New board. Everything. So nice job.
There is a drinking fountain back in the corner over there.
Yep. All right. Nice work, guys. Hayes, you have first up.
Okay. This is not a werewolf story. 500.
Werewolf for 500. Who is the criminal mastermind responsible for the Penn Cove massacre? Hint, you must give both names. All right, and there are no point deductions for guesses or wrong answers, just to make that clear. All right, it is Luke Ferrier or Coach Tuffman. Back to Hayes to pick.
All right. Let's do the Journey of Coyote Sunrise for 500.
Coyote for 500. According to Rodeo, what are two things that last forever? Hayes Blue.
Janet Joplin's Voice and Twinkies.
Correct. All righty, go ahead and pick.
Pippi Longstocking 500.
Pippi for 500. In Brazil, what do people put in their hair? Hayes Blue.
Eggs.
Correct. Eggs. All right, back to Hayes.
Oscar Indigo 500.
Oscar for 500. Name one of the three people who invented the watch. Hayes Yellow.
Mr. Smiley.
Incorrect. Lincoln for the steel. Go ahead.
Hector Smiley.
Incorrect. The three people that invented the watch. Any of those. Back to Hayes.
Me and Marvin Gardens 500.
All right, 500 for me and Marvin Gardens. What does Obe want to be when he grows up? Hayes Yellow.
A teacher.
Correct. All right. Go ahead, Hayes.
Snow White 500.
500. In the Grimm version, how does the evil queen die? Hayes Purple.
Got electrocuted to her death.
Incorrect. Go ahead.
Red Hot Shoes.
Correct. So the points are awarded to Lincoln. Lincoln, go ahead and choose the next question.
Pippi Longstocking 400.
Pippi for 400. What is the name of Pippi's grandmother's maid? Hayes Green.
Marlin.
Incorrect. Lincoln.
Malin.
Malin. Correct. Lincoln, go ahead.
Me and Marvin Gardens 400.
Marvin Gardens for 400. Pollution fact of the day. Every 90 seconds, a blank dies from contaminated water. Lincoln Purple.
Fish?
Incorrect.
I didn't think so.
All right, the answer, Hayes, go ahead.
Sea animal?
Good guess. It is a child.
Oh.
Back to Lincoln. Yep, go ahead.
Sorry. Snow White for 400.
Snow White 400. In Snow White, the graphic novel, how does the evil stepmother die? Lincoln Orange.
The speaker, like she got electrocuted by the speaker.
She is electrocuted, correct. All right, Lincoln, go ahead.
Pippi Longstocking 300.
Pippi for 300. Who is the author of Pippi Longstocking? Lincoln Green.
Astrid Lindgren.
Correct.
Big points.
All right, go ahead, Lincoln.
The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise 400.
All right, Coyote for 400. What instrument does Lester Washington play? Lincoln Yellow.
Upright bass.
Correct. All righty. Lincoln, go ahead.
Oscar Indigo 400.
Oscar for 400. What was the name of the pitch that took out Babe Ruth? Hayes.
Fast pitch.
Good guess. Incorrect. Anyone at Lincoln? Go ahead.
Fastball.
It was called the drop.
She was in no shot.
All right, back to Lincoln for the question.
This is not a werewolf story. 400.
Werewolf for 400. What is mitochondrial DNA? Lincoln yellow.
The DNA you get from your mother.
Correct. All righty, go ahead.
Me and Marvin Gardens 300.
Marvin for 300. Define irony. A definition, not an example. Hayes yellow.
Something that means something, but it's not what it seems like.
Yeah? Okay, we accept that. Points to Team Hayes. Go ahead.
The Journey of Coyote Sunrise 300.
All right. What is the name of the city where Coyote tells Rodeo she wants to go to get a pork sandwich? Lincoln blue.
Butte.
Yes. All right, go ahead and pick Lincoln.
Snow White 300.
Snow White for 300. In the graphic novel, how does Snow White's dad die? Lincoln green.
A poison drink that the stepmother gives.
Correct. All righty. Go ahead, Lincoln.
This is not a werewolf story. 300.
Werewolf for 300. What are the names of Dean Swift's daughters? Hayes yellow.
April, May, and June.
Correct. All right. Go ahead, Hayes.
Oscar Indigo 300.
Who stole the watch from Vieter Clom Thimble and Handheld Timepiece Museum? Hayes blue.
Oscar.
Incorrect. Lincoln? Yeah.
Eleanor Ethel Smiley. Right? I don't know how to pronounce it. Eleanor Ethel Ellington.
Okay, we're going to give it to you. Yes. All right, go ahead, Lincoln.
Journey of Coyote Sunrise 200.
Who is the first person to get invited on the bus? Hayes blue.
Lester.
Lester is correct. Back to Hayes.
Oscar Indigo 200.
Oscar for 200. Who is the author? Lincoln green.
David T.
Correct. Nice work. All right, let's go back to Lincoln.
Me and Marvin Gardens 200.
Marvin for 200. Who wrote Me and Marvin Gardens? Lincoln green. Five seconds.
Dan Givenhart.
Incorrect. Hayes.
Amy Care.
Yes, correct. Amy Sarah King. Hayes.
This is not a werewolf story. 200.
Who wrote This Is Not a Werewolf Story? Hayes yellow.
Wasn't it no.
Go ahead.
Sandra Evans.
Yes. So there's a timer that's counting down. See in that upper right-hand corner? That's your 30-second time. To once it hits 0, I have to go to the other team. That's how I'm doing it. So just so you know. All right, Sandra Evans. Back to you guys.
Okay. Pippi Longstocking 200.
Pippi for 200. Who did Pippi beat at arm wrestling? Hayes green.
The burglar.
Incorrect. Lincoln. All right, it is Mighty Adolf Westerman. Back to Hayes.
Snow White 200.
Snow White 200. What country does the graphic novel take place in? Hayes, yellow.
Hooverville.
Incorrect. Yes,
America.
correct. Go ahead, Lincoln.
Me and Marvin Gardens 100.
Marvin swims like what animal? Lincoln, orange.
Fox.
Incorrect. Hayes,
A dog.
can you say that louder?
A dog.
Correct. Go ahead, Hayes.
Snow White 100.
Snow White 100. In the Grimm version, what jobs did the seven dwarves have? Lincoln, orange.
They mined gold.
Correct. All right, over to Lincoln.
You picked. I don't have good eyesight.
Journey of Coyote Sunrise 100.
What is the name of the school bus? Hayes, yellow.
Jaeger.
Pardon?
Jaeger.
Jaeger. Good. All right, Hayes.
Oscar Indigo 100.
Oscar for 100. Who is the best player on the team? Lincoln, blue.
Oh, Lords.
Yes. All right, go ahead, Lincoln.
This is not a werewolf story 100.
Vincent has a huge problem with doing what? Hayes, blue.
Lying.
Lying. Also accepting setting your house on fire. All right, Pippi Longstocking. Ready? Here we go. What may or may not live in Pippi's attic? Lincoln, blue.
Go.
Oh,
Ghost.
wait, sorry. I thought it was.
Ghosts. Yeah. All right. That is the board. It's going to say there's a tie. And actually, this was very, very, very close. Cece and Ms. Johnson are going to add up the scores, so we're double, triple checking. And you guys did great. You guys have time to use the bathroom, get a drink, and then head down to your next station. Nice job. All right. Harrison is up. Animals 500. Here we go. What are the two types of animals that end up on Jaeger? Roosevelt Orange.
Okay, the two types are a cat and a goat.
That is correct.
Good job, Antonia. The McNuggets are
All right, Roosevelt, go ahead. Next question.
2,500 something. 300. How about fun? Yeah,
Friends, 500.
Friends for 500.
Oh, wait. Why did you think that?
What are the names of the bullies in Me and Marvin Gardens? There's one, and this is not a werewolf story. There's two. Hint, there are three. So you can't discuss it with your team. Harrison Purple.
Me and Marvin Gardens. The first one is Tommy, and then this is not a werewolf story. The one that I know, I think, is Mean Jack.
Do you have a second one for werewolf story?
Coach Tuffin.
Correct. All right, and you scholars, you'll also notice that when you ask a question, there's a timer up in the right-hand corner. That's the time allotted to answer the question. If the time runs out and you've buzzed in and you haven't answered, that's when I go to the other team, okay? All right, over to Harrison to pick. Go ahead.
Unreal Events 300.
Unreal Events for 300. Name 4 things that changed because Oscar stole 19 seconds in How Oscar Indigo Broke the Universe. Harrison Blue.
Trees have tentacles, and pterodactyls were flying. 19 seconds were stolen, which, like, anything that costs 19 seconds disappears. And the 4th thing was, the moms lose their jobs or something? Something like that? I don't
You
know.
have 3 of the 4. 3 of 4. Over to Roosevelt Blue.
Okay, so there's pterodactyls flying in the sky. There's a second sun. There's moms keep losing their job. And tentacles on trees.
Hold on, I want to read this over before I decide. I don't have the moms losing their jobs as one of them. Or Don, you would have gotten it. Roosevelt, you didn't get it either because moms losing their jobs is not one of them. So for this question, no points are awarded for either team. Back to Harrison, Aubrey, right? Okay.
Dates and time 300.
Dates and time 300. What book was published in 2020? Roosevelt Purple.
Coyote Sunrise.
Incorrect. Harrison. Orange.
Was it This Is Not a Werewolf Story?
Incorrect. The correct answer is When Stars Are Scattered. Back to Harrison to pick the question. Food 500. All right. What is the name of the person who serves the food in This Is Not a Werewolf Story? Harrison Orange.
Cook Patsy.
Cook Patsy is correct. All right. Go ahead, Harrison.
Friends 400.
Friends 400. For which character does Raoul make a fishing pole with 2 wolves running? Roosevelt Orange.
Sparrow.
Correct.
Yes. Good job.
Okay, Roosevelt, go ahead.
Do 500. Do family 500. Oh, wait, no, actually, Unreal Events 500. Family 500.
Unreal Events 500.
Unreal Events 500. What is the second thing the evil queen tries to kill Snow White with in the Grimm version? Roosevelt Purple.
Poison comb.
Yes.
Come here.
All right.
Good job.
I love all the positivity. All right, Roosevelt, go ahead.
Do 500 something. Do 5. Do
But
dates.
family 500.
Yeah,
Family for 500.
Family hasn't been touched yet.
In This Is Not a Werewolf Story, Sparrow lives with what family member? Harrison, orange.
His mom.
Incorrect. Roosevelt, orange.
His grandmother.
Correct.
Cool. Good job, Antonio.
All right, go ahead, Roosevelt.
Okay,
Dates in time 500. The last
Dates in time 500.
Dates and time 500. In Oscar Indigo, how long had Carolina parakeets been extinct?
I
15 seconds.
I'm gonna
Or Roosevelt, orange.
try. 1980s? From the 1980s?
Incorrect. Harrison with a guess. 1 second. All right, it was 100 years.
I was gonna think.
Back to Roosevelt for the question.
Unreal Events 400. 400. No, Unreal Events 400.
Unreal Events 400.
Yes.
All right, what animal does Pippi wrestle to submission while on a picnic? Roosevelt, green.
A bowl?
It is a bull.
Good.
Good. All right, Roosevelt, go ahead.
Do dates. Animals 400.
Animals 400.
400.
Food for 400. All right. In the grim version of Snow White, what does the huntsman bring to the queen that she then eats? Harrison, blue.
A heart.
Correct.
Who would eat a bull's heart?
I'm accepting the answer of a heart. Yeah. Harrison, go ahead.
Family for 400.
Family 400. What day and time does Coyote call her grandma? Harrison, purple.
Sunday at noon.
Incorrect. Roosevelt.
You buzzed.
Yep, anyone at Roosevelt want to steal?
I thought.
Oh, they can't get it. You guys were so close. It's Saturday at noon. No points deducted for wrong answers. So back to Don.
Unreal Events for 200.
Unreal Events 200. What is Dean Swift's first skin?
This one. You know this one.
Roosevelt, orange.
We did this one.
An eagle.
Right, but you didn't help her, did you?
No, I did not.
Okay, so when the question is read, everyone has to be completely silent. Okay. Okay, eagle is correct. Roosevelt, go ahead.
Animals 400.
Yeah.
Animals
We're not good
400.
at dating time. That's a weakness.
What is the name of Oscar's cat and how Oscar Indigo broke the universe? Harrison, blue.
Dr. Soul.
Dr. Soul is correct. All right, back to Harrison.
Animals 300.
Animals for 300. What book is Coyote's kitten named after? Harrison, blue.
The one and only Ivan.
Correct.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay, back to Harrison.
Unreal Events 100.
Unreal Events 100.
We got this one.
What is the most magical color in This Is Not a Werewolf Story? Harrison, orange.
White.
White is correct. You guys are doing great. This is a very close game. Okay, back to Harrison.
Family 300.
Family 300. What does Pippi say her dad is? Roosevelt, orange.
Pippi says her dad is the Cannibal King.
Good.
Cannibal King.
Good
All right,
job.
back to Roosevelt.
Do 400. Do the last.
in time 400.
Yes, we need
Dates
to get
and
these
time 400. Which book talks about living forever? Harrison.
This Is Not a Werewolf Story.
Yes.
I got it.
Go ahead, Harrison.
Animals 200.
Animals for 200. What was the name of the German Shepherd in This Is Not a Werewolf Story? Roosevelt, orange.
Bobo.
Bobo is correct.
You're killing it.
All right, Roosevelt, go ahead.
Dude.
Friends 300.
Yes.
Friends
I
for
was gonna say
300. Give the first and last name of Oscar's friend on his baseball team. Harrison, orange.
Lourdes Mangabat.
Correct.
I was going to say that.
Harrison, go ahead.
Food 300.
No, I want to do that.
Food for 300. What plant does Eleanor Ethel Ellington grow in her garden? Harrison, purple.
She goes tomatoes.
Correct.
You got to keep pressing it, right?
Harrison, go ahead.
Family 200.
Family for 200. Which character has to take care of his younger brother? Purple, Roosevelt.
Omar.
Come here.
Correct.
Cool. Cool.
All right, go ahead, Roosevelt.
Food.
Dates and time for 200.
Oh,
Dates
that's the
and
food.
time for 200. Which full-length book was published first? Roosevelt, orange.
Pippi Longstocking?
Yes.
Good job.
All right, go ahead, Roosevelt.
Food 200.
Food for 200. What is the name of the cookie that Pippi makes? Roosevelt, purple.
Peppercorn.
Correct.
Yes. Come here. High five. I want a harder one than that.
Okay, Roosevelt, go ahead.
Friends for 200.
Friends 200. What defining event ended Tommy and Obe's friendship? Harrison, purple.
The turf war.
Incorrect. Roosevelt, orange.
Okay, there was a fight that went out over like their turf, like what would have been Obi's turf, but then like because of his grandpa, like how he had to keep getting rid of it.
I am gonna, no points awarded to anyone. It is specifically, we were looking for a more specific answer. It was the fight over the turf war, but it's specifically when Tommy punched him in the nose. Back to Harrison.
Animals 100.
Animals for 100. What is the name of the monkey in Pippi Longstocking? Harrison, purple.
Mr. Nelson.
Yes. Mr. Nielsen.
Keep
All
us
right,
good. Hi,
Harrison, go
guys.
ahead.
Food 100.
Food 100. What is Marvin Garden's favorite food? Roosevelt, blue.
Plastic.
Can you be more specific?
Like bottle plastic, like plastic that are bottles.
Incorrect. Harrison, I'm looking for a specific answer.
Erosion plastic?
Can you be louder?
Erosion plastic.
I'm looking for plastic lids and construction fencing
was close.
specifically. Very close. Harrison, right? Yeah, Harrison, back to you.
Friends 100.
Friends for 100. What are the names of Pippi's two friends? Harrison, purple.
Tommy and Annika.
Tommy and Annika. Go ahead, Harrison.
Dates and time 100.
Dates and time 100. What book takes the characters back in time? Roosevelt, yellow.
Oscar Indigo.
Correct.
Good job, Luke.
All right, and the final question, family for 100. Here we go. Which character has a Monopoly cheater for a father? Harrison, purple.
Obi.
Yes.
I was gonna say Obi.
Guys, this was super close.
Super close.
Great
It's a
job.
tie.
It's not a tie.
yeah, 'cause you like, yeah.
Ms. Johnson and Cece both add the points up just to double check and make sure the point totals are right.
Keep pressing it.
All right.
Tony, you gotta like
Bathroom break, water break. You guys did awesome. Roosevelt, we'll see you back in a little bit.
Who won this round?
They have to add them up.
Wait, don't.
get this first round, I guess. It's a slaughter. When I walk more than feet by her. I wasn't. If Emerson goes, all I'm saying is Emerson gets shut down. I still think it's I gotta get close game. You can already. We do not cheat.
second, and we know because it's flashing. Like the earlier round, Cece will hold the button while the question is being read.
All right. Grant has first pick.
I'll do it. Friends 500.
Friends for 500. Oh, snap.
This happened last time.
All right, that did happen last night. I think it's when I step away. Let's go. We are on Battle of the Book board 2. We are 2 teams.
Just wait. I think
We are playing Grant and Horace Mann. All right, friends for 500, did you say?
yes, friends.
Okay. What are the names of the bullies in Meet and Marvin Gardens? 1, and this is not a werewolf story. There are 2, and hint. Okay, go ahead and reset. Hint, there are 3. Three names in total. Horace Mann.
For a werewolf story, me and Jack and Mr. Tuffman, and then me and Marvin Gardens is Tommy.
Correct. All right. Horace Mann, go ahead.
Animals 500.
Animals 500. What are the 2 types of animals that end up on Jaeger? Grant.
A goat and a cat.
Yes, correct. And I could see, Elise, you wanted to say it.
Yeah,
and you
but
didn't.
I was like, I don't
Good.
want to get.
Good. Yeah, we can't give the answers. Good. Okay, go ahead, Grant.
Do I do it?
Yes.
Food 500.
Food for 500. What is the name of the person who serves the food in This Is Not a Werewolf Story? It's Horace Mann.
Cook Patsy.
Cook Patsy is correct. All right. Over to Horace. Sorry.
If you guys buzz in before the end of the question, it won't record it because you've got the reset button on, so you want to make sure the question's been completely asked before getting your buzzer.
Family 500.
Family for 500. In This Is Not a Werewolf Story, Sparrow lives with what family member? Horace Mann.
His grandma.
Correct. All right, go ahead.
Unreal Events 500.
What is the second thing the evil queen tries to kill Snow White with in the Grimm version? Horace Mann.
Apple.
Incorrect. Grant.
Anyone?
7 seconds to guess. Go ahead.
Like a shoe? I don't know.
Good guess. It was a comb, a poisoned comb. Horace Mann.
Dates and Times 500.
Dates and times for 500. In Oscar Indigo, how long had Carolina parakeets been extinct? Go ahead.
100 years.
Pardon?
100.
100 is correct. All right, over to Grant.
Okay.
Okay.
Animals 400.
Animals for 400. What is the name of Oscar's cat in How Oscar Indigo Broke the Universe? Horace Mann.
Dr. Soul.
Dr. Soul's correct. All right, go ahead.
Family 400.
Family 400. What day and time does Coyote call her grandma? Horace Mann.
Sunday at 12.
Incorrect. Grant.
Saturday at 12?
Correct. So close. All right, Grant, go ahead.
We'll go with food 400.
Food for 400. In the Grimm's version of Snow White, what does the huntsman bring to the queen that she then eats? Grant.
A pig's heart.
Would you accept that?
I probably would.
Yeah. I would too. Boar's heart.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, Grant, go ahead.
Animals for 300.
Animals, 300. What book is Coyote's kitten named after? Grant.
The one and only Ivan.
Correct. All right. Go ahead, Grant.
Unreal Events 400.
What animal does Pippi wrestle to submission while on a picnic? Grant.
Get ready.
9 seconds.
Okay. Guys, you can go.
That clock is
Do it. Click it.
incorrect.
A cow.
I took pig. I think we can take
All right. A bull. A man. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. All right. So points awarded to Horace Man. Horace Man, go ahead.
Friends 400.
Friends for 400. For which character does Raoul make a fishing pole with 2 wolves running? Horace Man.
Sparrow.
Correct.
Yeah. Dates and time 400.
Dates and time 400. Which book talks about living forever? Horace Man.
Oscar Indigo.
Incorrect. Grant.
Coyote Sunrise.
Incorrect. It is This Is Not a Werewolf Story.
Oh, you're right.
You're close.
Friends for 400.
Friends 400. Oh, there's no friends for
300.
Friends for 300.
300? Okay. Give the first and last name of Oscar's friend on his baseball team. Grant.
Lourdes Mangabay.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know how to
To pronounce it? Yes. Okay, Grant.
Family 300.
Family 300. What does Pippi say her dad is? Horseman.
Cannonball King.
Correct.
Food for 300.
What plant does Eleanor Ethel Ellington grow in her garden? Horseman.
Tomato.
Correct. You guys are doing a great job of hovering because I can see when you guys are pressing down, so nice work.
Dates and time 300.
Dates and time 300. What book was published in 2020? Horseman. No, I'm sorry, Grant.
Coyote Sunrise.
Incorrect. Horseman. You can't confer.
This is not a werewolf story.
It was
Incorrect. It's when stars are scattered, and whoever buzzes in that's flashing is the person that has to answer it.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's back to Grant. It was you guys. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead, Horseman. 300. Name 4 things that changed because Oscar stole 19 seconds in How Oscar Indigo Broke the Universe. Grant.
The trees had tentacles. There were pterodactyls. There were random tsunamis. And his mom was acting weird. His mom was acting different, maybe.
Okay. I need 4 from Horace Man.
Can I say the same ones as she said? Okay. So there were tentacles growing on the trees. There's random tsunamis everywhere on the beaches. I don't know.
Okay, that's okay. Fair. So here's a bunch of the things that could have said old-time baseball players were coming up, disappearing bees, birds were flying backwards, etc., etc. So, all right, no points lost or gained. Back to Horseman.
Animals 200.
Animals 200. What was the name of the German Shepherd in This Is Not a Werewolf Story? Horseman.
Bobo.
Correct.
Yes.
All right. Go ahead.
Family 200.
Family for 200. Which character has to take care of his younger brother? Grant.
Omar.
All right. Grant.
We'll go Unreal Events 200.
Unreal Events 200. What is Dean Swift's first skin? Grant.
An eagle.
Correct. Go ahead.
Food for 200.
Food for 200. What is the name of the cookie that Pippi makes? Grant.
Like a pip.
Over to Horace Mann.
Peppercocker.
Yes. All right. Go ahead, Horace Mann.
Friends 200.
What defining event ended Tommy and Ob's friendship? Grant.
Tommy sucker punched Obi.
Correct. Go ahead, Team Grant.
Dates and times 200.
Which full-length book was published first? Grant.
This Is Not a Werewolf Story.
Incorrect.
No.
Horace Mann.
Snow White.
Incorrect. Pippi Longstocking.
My mom used to watch it.
Back to Team Grant. No points lost or gained.
Family 100.
Family 100. Which character has a Monopoly cheater for a father? Grant.
Is it Ob?
Yes.
I forget it in a moment. Unreal Events 100.
Unreal Events 100. What is the most magical color in This Is Not a Werewolf Story? Grant.
Blue?
Incorrect. Horace Mann.
White.
Correct. All right, Horace Mann, go ahead.
Food 100.
What is Marvin Garden's favorite food? Horace Mann.
Plastic.
I need you to be more specific.
The orange erosion fence.
Correct.
Yes.
All right, go ahead, Horace Mann.
Animals 100.
Animals 100. What is the name of the monkey in Pippi Longstocking? Grant.
Philippe.
Incorrect.
Mr. Nielsen.
Correct.
Yes.
It is Mr. Nelson.
All right.
Friends 100.
Friends for 100. What are the names of Pippi's two friends? Horace Mann.
Tommy and Anna.
And what was the second name?
Anna.
Incorrect. Grant.
Tommy and Annika.
Correct.
Annika?
All right, dates and times for 100. Last one. What book takes the characters back in time? I have Grant.
Oscar breaks the universe and puts it back together.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a very long title. Yeah. All right. And that is the last one. That was a very, very close match. Nice job. All right. It's not a tie. I'm not keeping score. Yeah. Great job. Yeah, I think that works better. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, we are clear. Emerson, first question, go ahead. And Reagan, can you sit down, please? Sorry. Thank you.
No, I'm not picking this one. I'm not picking
Friends 500.
And make sure you speak up loudly so I can hear and Mr. Bunsey can hear in the back.
Friends 500.
All right, Friends 500. I was going to say, oh, snap. What are the names of the bullies in Me and Marvin Gardens? There's one, and this is not a werewolf story. There's two. Hint, there are three. Emerson.
In Me and Marvin Gardens, there's Tommy. Let me start with werewolves. So there is Mean Jack, Vincent, and Ralph? No.
No. So I'm going to go over to Team Lincoln. Go ahead.
Tommy, Vincent, Mean Jack, Toughman.
Correct. All right. Lincoln.
Animals 500.
Animals for 500. What are the two types of animals that end up on Jaeger? Emerson.
Goats
Correct.
and kitten.
Correct. All right, go ahead, Emerson.
Family 500.
Family for 500. And this is not a werewolf story. Sparrow lives with what family member? Lincoln.
Grandma.
Correct. Go ahead, Lincoln.
Food 500.
Food 500. What is the name of the person who serves the food in This Is Not a Werewolf Story? Lincoln.
Cook Pepsi.
Yes, correct. All right, go ahead, Team Lincoln.
Food 400.
Food for 400. In the Grimm's version of Snow White, what does the huntsman bring to the queen that she then eats? Lincoln.
A boar's heart.
Correct. Okay, go ahead, Team Lincoln.
Unreal Events 500.
Unreal Events 500. What is the second thing the evil queen tries to kill Snow White with in the Grimm version? Lincoln.
A comb.
Correct. And guys, remember, it will not let you buzz in until the question's read. Okay? All right, go ahead, Lincoln.
Dates and time 500.
Dates and time 500. In Oscar Indigo, how long had Carolina parakeets been extinct? Emerson.
100 years.
Correct. All right, go ahead, Team Emerson.
Friends 400.
Friends 400. For which character does Raoul make a fishing pole with two wolves running? It is Emerson.
Sparrow.
Sparrow is correct. Okay, go ahead.
Unreal Events 400.
Unreal Events 400. What animal does Pippi wrestle to submission while on a picnic?
Was it
Lincoln.
a raccoon?
Incorrect. Emerson?
A bull.
It is a bull.
Pippi lives in an interesting world.
All right. Emerson, go ahead.
Animals 400.
Animals 400. What is the name of Oscar's cat in How Oscar Indigo Broke the Universe?
Dr. Soul.
I'm
dang.
sorry. No points worded there. I have to call on you, okay? And it was Emerson had buzzed in first. So we'll start. Go ahead and choose another one.
Family 400.
Family 400. What day and time does Coyote call her grandma? Emerson.
Saturday noon.
Correct. All right, go ahead.
Dates and time, 400.
Which book talks about living forever? Emerson.
Snow White.
Incorrect. Lincoln.
Was it Oscar Indigo Broke the Universe?
Incorrect. It is.
This is not a werewolf story. When Tuffman was talking about how he could make something that would keep Raoul's mom alive forever.
Correct. No points awarded, but that is. Back to Anne.
Animals 300.
Animals 300. What book is Coyote's Kitten named after? Emerson.
The one and only Ivan's.
The one and only Ivan. All right. Emerson.
Food, 300.
Food 300. Everyone's hovering. Ready? What plant does Eleanor Ethel Ellington grow in her garden?
Cosmic Tomato Plant.
Cosmic tomato plant is right. I just need to be about 3 inches taller to see everyone's little light. Okay. Go ahead, Lincoln.
Friends 300.
Friends 300. Give the first and last name of Oscar's friend on his baseball team. Lincoln.
Lourdes Mangobat.
Correct. All right, go ahead, Team Lincoln.
Family 300.
Family for 300. What does Pippi say her dad is? Emerson.
I buzzed on
A cannibal king?
Yep, a cannibal king.
That's something weird to call your dad.
Go ahead.
Dates and times 300.
Dates and times 300. What book was published in 2020? Emerson.
When stars are scattered.
Correct. You guys, make sure you wait for me to call on you just to double check, okay? All right, go ahead.
Unreal Events, 300.
Unreal Events 300. Name 4 things that changed because Oscar stole 19 seconds and how Oscar Indigo broke the universe. Lincoln.
Trees on tentacles, pterodactyls. Pterodactyls. I don't know.
You want to pass? Or, yep, okay.
The tentacles on the tree, bees, pterodactyls, and the coffee cup from her mom's work. Or the cup from his mom's work when she was born.
No, it just froze it. It didn't alter it.
Okay, so no points.
But it disappeared.
It did disappear. Yeah.
I'm gonna let Ms. Johnson decide. Okay, we're gonna, no points awarded. These are the answers that we thought, which you guys got 3 of what would be 4. All right, so no points awarded or lost, and we'll go back to, was it Lincoln or Lincoln? Okay.
No, you. Food 200.
Food 200. What is the name of the cookie that Pippi makes? Emerson.
Swedish peppercorn.
Can you say it a little louder?
A Swedish peppercorn.
Ms. Johnson? Lincoln? It's very close. It's called a peppercorn. Very close. Lincoln.
Friends 200.
What defining event ended Tommy and Obe's friendship? Emerson.
Tommy sucker punched him.
Yes. All right, that would definitely end a friendship. Okay, Emerson.
Unreal Events 200.
Unreal Events 200. What is Dean Swift's first skin? Emerson.
Himself. Like his human skin.
Incorrect. Lincoln.
Was it the cougar skin?
Incorrect. No points awarded or lost. An eagle is the correct answer. Back to Team Emerson.
Animals 200.
Animals 200. What was the name of the German Shepherd in This Is Not a Werewolf Story? Emerson.
Bobo.
Bobo is correct. All right, Emerson.
Family 200.
Family for 200. Which character has to take care of his younger brother? Emerson.
Omer and When Stars Are Scattered.
Correct. All right. Emerson.
Dates and Time 200.
Dates and Times 200. Which full-length book was published first? Lincoln.
Pippi Longstocking.
Correct. Lincoln, go ahead.
Family 100.
Family for 100. Which character has a Monopoly cheater for a father? Lincoln.
Me and Marvin Garden.
Incorrect.
What? No, that's correct.
Emerson.
What?
3 seconds.
I can't.
Incorrect. It's Obe. It's from that book, but it was asking what character. It's okay. Yeah.
You still got it right. It's okay.
Yes. It's like when we asked the question about what country and people said the state instead. Like, yeah. All right. But back to Lincoln for the question.
Unreal Events 100.
Unreal Events 100. What is the most magical color in This Is Not a Werewolf Story? Emerson.
White.
Correct. Emerson.
Food 100.
What is Marvin Garden's favorite food? Lincoln.
It was the orange. It was like the bright orange fencing.
Yes.
Anti-rad fencing.
All right, go ahead.
Friends 100.
All right. What are the names of Pippi's two friends? Emerson?
Tommy and Annika.
Correct. All right. Go ahead, Emerson.
Animals 100.
Animals. What is the name of the monkey in Pippi Longstocking? Lincoln.
Mr. Nelson.
Correct. All right, our last one today. Everyone's hovering. Dates and time. What book takes the characters back in time? Emerson.
Oscar and the Beth.
Correct. That was super close. Great. You guys did it. I was up here sweating. You guys did great. They're gonna total. They're both. Wasn't that good? Yeah. They're both gonna total the points just so they double check.
Miking up.
They trust me with the microphone. Here we go. All right. Team Hayes will pick the first question. Remember, if I hear anyone talking while the question is being read, or you're giving an answer, your team will not be allowed to answer. Sound good? All right, here we go. Hayes.
When the stars are scattered, 500.
Where stars are scattered, 500?
Yeah.
Okay. What is ironic about the refugee camp that the boys live in? Hayes.
That it means the city of lights, but there's no electricity.
Correct. All right, back to Hayes.
Guys, when you hit the buzzer, use the phone in your hand.
Yeah.
Use your fingers, it might slide off and not
Yes, sir.
be inaccurate.
This is not a werewolf story, 500.
This is not a werewolf story for 500. What animal gets loose in the school?
A snake.
Wait till I call on you. But yes, a snake. All right. Go ahead, Hayes.
Reviews 500.
Reviews 500. Which book is being reviewed? Blank is a bittersweet, heartwarming, and moving tale about love, magic, and the early teenage phase. Hayes.
This is not a werewolf story.
Correct. Okay, Hayes, go ahead.
Setting 500.
Setting for 500. What country did the original Grimm version of Snow White take place in?
Germany.
Hayes.
Germany.
Germany. All right, go ahead, Hayes.
Character traits 500.
Character traits 500. This character, is logical, musical, and brave. Roosevelt.
Coyote Sunrise.
Incorrect. You have to buzz in. There you go. Hayes.
Annie from Me and Marvin Gardens.
It is, yeah. Okay, go ahead, Hayes.
By the number is 500.
By the numbers 500?
Mhm.
The flashbacks in Me and Marvin Gardens take place how many years ago? Hayes.
100.
100 is correct. All right. Go ahead, Hayes.
This is not a werewolf story, 400.
Werewolf for 400. Who is Raoul's crush? Hayes.
Marianne.
Marianne is correct. All right, go ahead.
Where the stars are scattered, 400.
Where stars are scattered, 400. What does Omar want to be when he grows up? Hayes.
A social worker.
Correct. And he is that now. Go ahead, Hayes.
Settings 400.
Setting 400. In the graphic novel Snow White, what type of housing does Samantha end up in when she flees the queen? Roosevelt.
So when she flees the queen, which is the queen of the follies, after the boys save her, she goes into this like building place, like this kind of abandoned building with crates and stuff.
Okay, well, we're going to accept it. It is, the specific name of that is called a Hooverville, but it's kind of like a makeshift home. Good, okay. Roosevelt, go ahead.
Reviews 400.
Reviews for 400. Everyone's hovering and ready. Here we go. Take a hero who can toss off a nice one-liner, but who's a bit oblivious. Then add a smart, unimpressed, willful, and cheerfully sarcastic gal pal who's always a step ahead of the hero and totally into the adventure. Well, that's what you get here, and it's all wrapped up in charm and good humor. Hayes.
Pippi Longstocking.
Incorrect. Roosevelt? Yes.
Is that us from Oscar Indigo?
It is from Oscar Indigo. That is correct. Yes. The gal pal is Lourdes, right? Okay, go ahead, Roosevelt.
Character traits 400.
Character traits 400. This character is cruel, athletic, magical, and secretive. Roosevelt.
Oh my. No.
Can you say it one more time?
The Evil Queen.
Incorrect. Hayes, do you want to guess?
Luke Ferrier or Coach Tuffman.
Correct. Good. Hayes.
By the numbers 400.
By the numbers 400. How many years have Rodeo and Coyote lived on a school bus? Roosevelt.
8 years?
Incorrect. Hayes.
5.
5. Go ahead, Hayes.
Setting 300.
Setting for 300. In what state does Me and Marvin Gardens take place? Hayes.
Florida.
Incorrect. You got a 1 out of 49 chance. Yes, Roosevelt.
Illinois.
Oh, I'm sorry. Illinois. Incorrect. It is Pennsylvania. Roosevelt.
This is not a werewolf story 300? This is not a werewolf story 300.
What spirit animal was Ms. Turn's mother? Hayes.
An orca.
Correct. Back to you guys.
Where stars are scattered 300.
What did Miriam do to help Omar? Hayes.
She babysat. She watched Hassan while Omar was at school.
Yeah. Nice. Go ahead and buzz in.
You're hitting like this, so you know.
There you go. Okay. Hayes.
Character traits 300.
Character traits 300. This character is positive, friendly, and unathletic. Hayes.
Oscar Indigo.
Correct. Right. Go ahead, Hayes.
By the numbers 300.
What book has the most pages of the ones we've read this year? Roosevelt.
Oscar Indigo.
Incorrect. Hayes.
This is not a werewolf story.
352 pages. Okay, go ahead.
Reviews 300.
What book is being reviewed? Blank was written in the 1940s and is still utterly captivating to this generation. Roosevelt.
Pippi Longstocking.
Correct. Alrighty, go ahead.
This is not a werewolf story 200.
Reviews 200.
Reviews 200. What book is being reviewed? This book packs a whole lot into a wonderful story of friendship. The need for conservation, the perils of overdevelopment, the angst of teenage growing pains, the effects of bullying, the perils of alcohol, and the importance of a good education. Hayes?
Me and Marvin Gardens.
Correct. Okay, Hayes?
This is not a werewolf story 200.
Everyone's ready? Okay. How many Olympic medals did Tuffman win? Hayes?
Zero.
0. Trust your gut. Okay. Go ahead.
Where stars are scattered 200.
200. All right. What do kids use to make soccer balls? Hayes.
Plastic bags.
Correct. Plastic bags. Okay, go ahead, Hayes.
By the numbers 200.
By the numbers 200. How many street rats help Snow in the graphic novel Snow White? Roosevelt.
7.
Correct. All right. Go ahead, Roosevelt.
This is not a character traits 200. Character traits 200.
This character is fearful of past grief, a free spirit, and eccentric. Hayes.
Rodeo.
Correct. Go ahead.
Setting 200.
What is the name of Pippi's house? Hayes.
Villa Villicula.
Villa Villicula. Go ahead, Hayes.
Reviews 100.
What book is being reviewed? The words are few and far between. You often get a very good sense of the characters anyway. Hayes.
Coyote Sunrise.
Incorrect. Roosevelt? Yes.
This is not a werewolf story?
Incorrect. It's the words are few and far between. That's your big clue. It is Snow White, the graphic novel. Hayes, go ahead and pick.
Where the Stars Are Scattered 100.
How many authors wrote this book? Roosevelt.
2.
Correct. All right, go ahead, Team Roosevelt.
This is not a werewolf story 100. This is not a werewolf story 100.
What does Tuffman lose at the beginning of the book? Hayes.
He loses the snake.
Incorrect. Roosevelt.
He loses the jacket he was wearing?
Incorrect. Can you clear it for a second? I just want to give a hint. Guys, this is what he pretends to have lost.
The hair.
Hayes.
His house keys.
His house keys. Correct. Oh, it's his two.
Oh, it's
his
hair.
Oh.
Who said that? Anyone? You, Team Roosevelt.
I
All right,
think he was
Roosevelt.
in.
He actually, you're right. He pretends to lose his keys, but he actually loses his hair. Good. All right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Roosevelt, you got the points for that. My apologies. Go ahead.
Character traits 100.
100. This character is spunky, creative, fun-loving, and a little magical. Hayes.
Pippi Longstocking.
Pippi. Go ahead.
Setting 100.
Where does all the magic happen in This Is Not a Werewolf Story? What? Hayes.
The lighthouse.
Incorrect. Roosevelt.
White Deer Woods.
Yes. The woods. And by the numbers, everyone's hovering. You are ready. Here we go. Last question. How many seconds does Oscar Indigo stop time for? Wow. I think everyone buzzed in. Roosevelt.
19 seconds.
Correct. Nice job. Wow. Woo. Okay. So it's not a tie.
I'm Ibrana and I'm here.
All right. The final two teams for the 5th annual Battle of the Books. In second place, it is Emerson with 9,500 points. And the top team is Hayes with 9,900 points. Right. Now, for the final battle, both teams start out at 0. All right? So if the 5 members from each team could come on up and we will get you situated. We need Hayes over here and Emerson over here. Yeah, I don't know where CC is.
You guys are on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Emerson, are you doing a randomizer? Thank you. I knew she wouldn't let you guys down. Come on. Can you take out Miriam and Reagan, though, because they both already sat out?
Oh, right. Okay.
So do a randomizer with the other. So Miriam and Reagan, you guys stack them. And then a randomizer for
Okay. Friends.
Maybe do anything?
With this buzzer, palm of the hand, okay? With this buzzer, hit it right here. Don't try and hit it here. Hit it right here. Watch your feet, Kevin. Don't fall. There's CC. Yay.
Sorry.
We were worried about you.
We moved the girls' bathroom in the cafeteria, like shut down because something was wrong with it, so I had to go to the Civic. And there's tons of people in there.
Oh, okay.
So Penelope is out. Sorry. We just did a randomizer to just determine the Emerson team. Hold on, have both of you guys worked these buzzers already?
Yeah.
Okay.
But can we test them real quickly again?
Yep. Ms. Johnson and I tested every single buzzer.
Got it.
Yes, they're all working. Okay. All right, Emerson, because you are on the left-hand side, you get to pick the first question. Buzzers are cleared. Go ahead, Emerson. Pick the first question.
Why are you all looking at me again?
Setting 500.
Settings for 500. What is the name of the refugee camp in which Omar and Hassan live in when stars are scattered? Emerson.
Dadaab.
It is Dadaab. Okay, go ahead.
Book Connections 500.
Book Connections for 500. Name 3 differences in the Grimm and the graphic version of Snow White. Emerson.
How the evil person dies. The dwarves / little boys, and the way the father dies.
Correct. There were other ones? There you go. All right. All right, Emerson.
Let's do important objects.
For
500.
what story is most connected to the object in this image? Emerson.
Coyote Sunrise.
It is not Coyote Sunrise. Hayes.
Werewolf Story.
It is Werewolf Story.
Wait, how is it related to the snow? I would think Oscar Indigo, actually.
In the Werewolf Story,
Oh,
Vincent's mom, Pretty Lady, brings him to
On a motorcycle,
on a motorcycle. Yep.
Oh.
Hayes.
That's a really hard one. Good job, Hayes.
You guys want to pick?
Alright.
One sentence summary 500.
One sentence summary for 500. This book captures the essence of classic film noir on the page and draws a striking distinction between good and evil. Emerson.
It's a Snow White.
Can you please be more specific?
Isn't that the Snow White that was made by Matt Feline?
It is the Snow White written by Matt Feline, the graphic novel version. All right, Emerson.
We'll go for important quotes 500.
Important quotes 500. Which character said, "Don't you worry about me, I'll always come out on top"? Hayes.
Lourdes.
It is not Lourdes.
Oh,
Hit a buzzer. Yes.
Wasn't it Eleanor Ethel Ellington?
It was not. The correct answer is Pippi Longstocking.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Who picked that one? Was it?
It was Emerson.
Emerson. Please pick another.
Theme 500.
Theme for 500.
Yep.
Name the book that speaks to the theme. You will never know the full story, and that is okay. You know enough to choose how you wish to act. Hayes.
This is not a werewolf story?
It is. This is not a werewolf story. Hayes.
Setting 400.
Setting for 400. What country does Pippi take place in? Emerson.
United States.
It is not the United States. Hayes.
Sweden.
It is Sweden.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Hayes.
One sentence summary 400.
One sentence summary for 400. Name the book being described. We have a protagonist who is dealing with social ostracism in his peer group and at home. We have parents who are a little evil. We have an absurdist concept that lands in this otherwise realistic narrative like a spaceship landing in the middle of a cornfield. Hayes.
Me and Marvin Gardens.
It is Me and Marvin Gardens. All right, Hayes.
Theme 400.
Theme for 400. Name the book that shows us that our friends can all be completely different than us, all ages and genders, and support us in unimaginable ways. Emerson.
It was Oscar Indigo.
It is Oscar Indigo. Okay, Hayes. Emerson, I'm sorry. Emerson.
We'll do important objects 400.
Important objects for 400. What story is most connected to this image? Emerson.
Coyote Sunrise.
It is Coyote Sunrise.
But the slushies, let's go.
Okay, Emerson.
Book Connections 400.
Book Connections for 400. Name the two books that have a cat in them. Emerson.
Coyote Sunrise and what was it called? Oscar Indigo.
That is correct. Okay, Emerson.
Let's do important quotes 400.
Important quotes for 400. From which book do we find this quote? Mosquitoes don't have turf wars. Mosquitoes just want to drink blood. They don't have a problem. It's just the way they are. Emerson.
Isn't that Me and Marvin Gardens?
It is Me and Marvin Gardens.
Yeah, when he's talking about the turf wars for the swamp and the forest.
All right, Emerson.
Book Connections 300.
Book Connections for 300. Name two books that goats appear in. Hayes.
When Stars Are Scattered and This Is Not a Werewolf Story.
That is incorrect. For the steal, Emerson.
This is Coyote Sunrise and When Stars Are Scattered.
That is correct. Emerson.
Important objects 300.
Important objects for 300. What story is most connected to this image? Hayes.
Pippi Longstocking.
It is Pippi Longstocking. All right, Hayes.
Let's do setting 300.
Setting for 300. What is the decade called from the setting of Snow White, the graphic novel? Emerson.
The Great Depression.
That is incorrect.
Oh wait, no, that's
Hayes.
the wrong
The 1900s.
No. It's called the Roaring Twenties.
Oh.
Who picked that? Hayes. Okay. Go ahead, Hayes.
Important quotes 300.
Important quotes for 300. Name the book this is from. I just wanted everyone to be happy. It's hard though when everyone carries around a heart inside them that is so loud and so strong and so easily broken. Hayes.
This is not a werewolf story.
It is not. This is not a werewolf story. Emerson.
Is it Oscar Indigo?
It is not Oscar Indigo. This is The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise. All right, Hayes.
The best book that we read.
Theme for 300.
Theme for 300. Name the book this theme speaks to. Healing can take many forms. What works for one may not work for another. Hayes.
This is not a werewolf story.
This is not a werewolf story. Emerson.
When the stars are scattered.
It is not. It is The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise. All right, Hayes.
One sentence summary 300.
One sentence summary for 300. What book is being described? A funny and sweet story about learning to have courage even when it feels like the world is ending. It is Emerson.
When stars are scattered.
It is not When Stars Are Scattered for the Steel Haze.
Pippi Longstocking.
It is not Pippi Longstocking. The correct answer is
Oscar Indigo. Because it says the world is ending and he says he broke the universe.
All right, I believe Hayes chose that question. You can pick another one.
Setting 200.
Setting for 200. Which story takes place in Kenya? Emerson.
When stars are scattered.
It is When Stars Are Scattered. Good job, Anne. All right, Emerson.
Important objects 200.
Important objects for 200. What story is most connected to this image? It is Hayes.
Snow White, the graphic novel.
It is Snow White, the graphic novel. All right, Hayes.
Important quotes 200.
Important quotes for 200. Which book reminds us of this piece of advice? Birds of a feather flock together. Emerson.
This is not a werewolf story.
That is correct.
Yes.
All right, Emerson.
Book connections 200.
Book connections for 200. Name two books where there is a character named Tommy. Emerson.
Pippi Longstocking and Me and Marvin Gardens.
That is correct. All right, Emerson.
Theme 200.
Theme for 200. Name the book that teaches vanity is dangerous. Hayes.
Snow White.
It is Snow White. All right, Hayes.
One sentence summary 200.
One sentence summary 200. This book sparkles with magic and mystery, but it also possesses the sharp glint of danger and adventure. Hayes.
This is not a werewolf story.
That is correct. This is not a werewolf story. All right, Hayes.
Important objects 100.
Important objects for 100. What story is most connected to this image? Hayes.
How Oscar Indigo broke the universe.
Correct. Correct. All right, Hayes.
Book connections 100.
Book connections 100. What book has 3 animals named after characters from The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings? Emerson.
This is not a werewolf story.
Correct.
I could remember that because there's one that I remembered really easy, Gollum, who is also a hobbit, well, kind of a hobbit, in which we see in Lord of the Rings.
Correct. All right, Emerson.
That was the one I was looking for. That's the only reason I was like shouting in my mind, book connections. I was looking for that one. I was looking for it, and it's finally been found.
All right. Well, you get to pick the next one.
All right. Let's go for setting 100.
Setting for 100. Which story takes place in a previously rural part of Pennsylvania? Hayes.
Me and Marvin Gardens.
That is correct. All right, Hayes.
Theme 100.
Theme for 100. What book sends the message that the earth is something to be cherished? Emerson.
How Oscar Indigo broke the universe.
No. Hayes.
Me and Marvin Gardens.
Me and Marvin Gardens. All right, Hayes.
One sentence summary 100.
One sentence summary for 100. Which book is being described? A gripping novel based on true events about the struggle to reunite with family and to find a home. Emerson.
When Stars Are Scattered.
When Stars Are Scattered. And the last question, important quotes for 100. Which book reminds us of these sayings? Lost time is never found. Hayes. Mm-hmm.
How Oscar Indigo broke the universe.
That is correct. All right. Okay. It says it's a tie, but we don't keep score on here. So give us about 2 minutes. We'll do some adding, and we'll see who our final winner is. Everyone could find a seat. All right. I will say this. The battles today were really amazing. Like, they were close. And the final battle was also very close. The winner of the 5th annual Battle of the Books this year is Emerson. That being said, hold up. That being said, I do feel that all of you should really feel proud of yourselves, because to make a year-long commitment to read all of these books, to stick with meetings, to practice ahead of time, this was a huge commitment. And all of the adults in this room and the 9th graders in this room are really proud of you for sticking it out and competing and showing up and showing some really amazing sportsmanship. So you can all just kind of give yourselves a pat on the back. You guys did great.
And I don't know if you guys know, but our 9th graders today how many of you were in Battle of the Books in 5th grade?
Why are you standing?
So someday you might be helping when you're in 9th grade for 5th grade. Isn't that Keep that in mind.
Keep that. These are.
And these two, and they were
These two.
behind the scenes filming. They were also in battle with
Marcos.
Harrison, right? And Lincoln. So.
Yep, good job. So we would like to get a group picture of everybody. Maybe, Mrs. Gordillo, if we all just, then if we all just stay right there, maybe we could do it. Oh, Cece's over. All right. And then we have like 7 minutes. Where would you like to get a picture of all the battlers? Or we could move, we could go outside too.